everybody's time for like the first first few minutes. Hey.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul. Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so
That's
we've
me.
got Kyle, Mike, Paul, me. Let me just see if I can get Richie. Let me see. So let me just check you got access to the right documents. Yeah, you guys have all filled in character things, so that is okay.
Yep.
And the intro document, I think you also have the link for that. I've got a map. I'll show you a little map thing later. Let's see if we can track down our final player.
Hey guys.
Ah.
Hi.
Hey Richie, how you going?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. So, right, excellent. Everyone is here. Welcome to Apocalypse World Ultraviolet Grasslands. I have no idea how this is going to go. I guess
very ultraviolet. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, I remembered I have a little app on my phone that will slowly rotate through colors. I thought it would be kind of setting appropriate. So it's one of those smart light bulbs. We mainly only use it as a night light, so it's good to actually do something with it that it's designed for. So yeah. All right, let me see. Okay, yeah. So hello, if anyone's watching. I think maybe one person is. This is a Gauntlet Hangouts game, which means that it is run under the terms and conditions of the Gauntlet's inclusivity policy, which is on the website. Safety tools wise, I don't really know what's going to come up, but we will be using the X card, which basically means if at any time you feel uncomfortable and not in a good way about something that's happening in the game, either say X card, do this, just shout, oh no, X card, or put something into a text chat. So we'll get a little ping. We will stop and kind of go back and find a new way forward around whatever it is that is bothering you. And if that happens, no questions asked, okay? If somebody X card something, and if they want to tell us why, fine. But if they don't, be careful not to make it more of a big deal than it otherwise would be. Let me see. Yeah, let's use a roll for your party room for dice rolls if you want to. You can also just roll real dice. I'm fine with that. I will give you this link somewhere. There we go. That's in the group chat. And before we do anything else, let me quickly précis the concept, which of course you've all read, but let me go through this just as a bit of an intro for you again. So the setting is a kind of psychedelic, post-apocalyptic point crawl in a near future or weird fantasy Silk Road kind of setting with caravans traveling for weeks from destination to destination. And your characters are all, well, the people's legends tell of the long, long ago when your ancestors walked in the stars, and following visions from the True Mother, whomever that may be, a group of noble and ruthless warriors and seers has been chosen to return to the stars and tell the tale of your oppression and bring the ancestors back to the earth to deal with it. You'll be traveling west from the Circle Sea, and as you go from place to place, each destination has a chance of holding a key to the sky. And once 3 keys have been recovered, you will, so say the legends, then you'll get a crystal compass which will tell you where to go to ascend into the stars again. So rules-wise, it's Apocalypse World 2nd edition by Vincent and McGay Baker, and this would be a good time to check what's everyone's experience with Apocalypse World or PBTA in general. Richie, I know, has at least played World of Dungeons a lot. So
yeah, I've played quite a lot of Apocalypse World 1st edition and sort of run a face-to-face campaign in the 2nd edition, so I'm pretty experienced with that.
Okay, that should be fine.
I played other PBTAs, I have read the Apocalypse World, but it's my first time actually playing it.
Okay, cool. I think as long as you're familiar with these 7 to 9, 10 plus mechanism, everything should be fine. And Paul? Kyle, sorry, wrong one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Mike. I played quite a few PBTA games, but no Apocalypse World experience aside from the reading I've done in prep for this.
Excellent. Okay, there are a few. Actually, there's not really. I haven't done any tweaks except for the fact that because Ultraviolet Grasslands requires that you get XP for certain things, like exploring, setting up trade routes. I wanted to keep that, but not kind of lose the highlighted stats method from Apocalypse World. So we will just do one highlighted stat each, which will be chosen by you guys. But otherwise, it's all going to be much the same. And when rules come up in UVG, I've tried to make little custom moves, AW style, for that. So I think it should be fine. We'll muddle through.
Are there any big differences with second ed? I've got lots of experience, but not with second ed.
I would say not. You might find a couple of places where you'll go, oh, that's weird, or why are there so many moves for this now? But generally, I think in terms of the playbooks, they're pretty much the same. HX sort of is done the other way around now, but we'll get to that in a minute. By which I mean you tend to. Actually, that's a really terrible way of explaining it. It's a little bit different. Let's just say that, but we'll cover that. We'll cover that in a sec. But the rest of it, if you played first aid, you will be fine with second. Yep. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So let's do. Let's go check out our little character keeper. And Richie, you can grab that kind of yellow fourth one along. Hang on. Let me reshare the link for you just in case. But let's go left to right on my screen. And if you guys could start by introducing your name, playbook, and look, that would be great. So first up would be Kyle.
So I'm going to play Abe. He is an angel. And his look, I'm picturing like a middle-aged-ish man, seen a lot, been around a while. It's got like utility wear on, so I'm imagining something, camo-ish kind of deal. And then it's got kind face, quick eyes. I think he's a pretty sharp fella, and sturdy-ish. He's not tiny.
Cool. And next, let's have Mike, please.
Cool. So I'm playing the Gun Logger. His name is Mantis. He's a man, a young face, tightly braided hair, cuny eyes. He's small. He has a compact, wiry body, and he's carrying a sitting armor. I'm imagining like iridescent, like some Beatles sitting. Black, but with some sort of iridescence.
Nice, like oil on a puddle kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And no disrespect to the other two, but I'm very keen to hear about Paul's character.
Yeah, I got a bit excited and kind of made it like weeks ago. My character. So I'm playing Queenie, who is the faceless. And Queenie is sort of transgressing gender. Like you can't tell if maybe they could be a man, it could be a woman, who knows? But it's not a thing to them. They just are who they are. So Queenie doesn't care like what kind of pronouns they get called at all. Queenie wears showy armor, which is like this kind of armor made from kind of like shells and carapaces that's kind of been carved into this really showy kind of rib cage like armor with these big like almost like winged shoulder pad type things on it. They've got merciless eyes, but you don't see their eyes because they're wearing a mask, which is like a big painted, like a carved like animal skull that's like really oversized for their head. It's kind of that sort of big, and it's got big like antlers sort of coming out the top of it. And it's painted white with these big like black like eyes on the front. and there's some cords or wires or stuff that kind of trail out of the back of this bone mask and like plug like into the back of Queenie's head. And Queenie carries a massive fuck off porcelain scythe, like huge, great big thing, like, you know. And considering they've got quite a sort of scrawny, like wiry bodies, it's quite amazing how they actually managed to like fucking carry this thing. And that's Queenie.
Wow. All right, so let's Richie, let's go to you. You've got a bit of little bit of catching up to do, but that's cool. So you're doing the Battle Babe, is that right?
Yeah. I don't have the link to the. I didn't just get it. Is that the?
It's the second one there in the.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll catch up with that. Sorry about that. I didn't see that link before. So yeah, Battle Babe, a woman. Her name is Haptic. She has a striking face, gorgeous body, indifferent eyes because she wears goggles all the time. So you can't really see.
Like sort of driving goggles, or what kind of?
Yeah, well, big kind of mirrored, like round, kind of leathery at the sides, so eyes are completely covered. And she has a huge shotgun, which has, like, just looking on my sheet for, but anyway. And she wears mostly leathers, but is kind of covered in spiky chains. So that's a hand-to-hand weapon, which she has infinite amount of.
Interesting.
Kind of just basically draped in these chains all the time. Yeah, did I miss anything?
I think that's it as far as look goes, yeah, and everything. So that's a nice motley crew. Then the next thing to do would be, yeah, so stat lines, which I think most of you have, and moves, which we have a quick look through. Okay. God, we've got 2 characters with hard 3. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be carnage, but okay.
I think I've got hard -2.
And that should sort things out. I must say I'm impressed by how Mantis has got not a single 0 in his stat line at all. It's feast or famine. Yeah. So if you can go and fill in Haptic and just pick your moves. I think. Does anyone have a question about their moves or equipment? Actually, I think Mike, you had an equipment question.
Yeah, I saw in the reference documents the weapons. So as a gun logger, I get the fucking off big weapon and 2 others cool weapons and a 4th like backup. So is there any restrictions in this list?
No. So yeah, the list that gear on your playbook is referring to is the box off to its left that just says weapons. Yeah. And so you can pick anything from there that you like that fits the combo. And then now I know that UVG also has a big list of weapons, and I think that if you acquire more in the future, that's what you would be picking from. But for this, for character creation, just take anything from that list on your playbook. Which is, and like, yeah, they do seem overpowered because they kind of are, but that's the fun of the gun logger. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah. Any other sort of mechanical queries before we go on?
Yeah, I got a question about like barter, which I think you've renamed as cash. Is it?
Oh, kind of. Yes. Yeah, that's go on.
Because like in Apocalypse World, it's pretty much like a sort of abstract kind of concept, isn't it? But it seems that the Ultraviolet Grasslands is quite heavily built around like kind of, you know, currency and like economy and stuff. So how's that going to kind of translate?
So basically, for that purposes, we will start whatever barter you have to start with. You could kind of convert to cash, and from then on, we'll be using cash because as you point out, UVG does kind of you need to be buying and selling things. It seems to be kind of in chunks of like hundreds mostly or 50s, which is convenient. But it is important. There's even a special move for market research. So that's good. Yeah. So just use the barter for your kind of starting gear. And we're gonna start you guys out with a little mini caravan, some mules and that as well for kit. But yeah, I didn't really want to get into a shopping list for session 1. But as you go forward, yeah, you'll need to keep track of mainly how much food and supplies you have, I would think. Yeah.
Cool.
I think I said, is it 100 cash per barter that you start with, I reckon. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So if everyone is good with their characters and like what their moves do and all that kind of thing, then it will be time to do HX, which is how your characters are connected to one another. And well, let's do it in character sheet order this time. So Queenie is the first one on the list of characters, which means I have to open the faceless PDF. Hang on.
Oh yeah, I've not got that open either actually. Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, here we go.
See, I've got the book there, but it's not in there, is it? 'Cause it's a special playbook.
Special extra one, yeah. HX. Okay, so yeah, it's your turn. So you ask 1, 2, or all 3 of the questions there.
Okay, just opening it up. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. That's all right. It's just opening it up now. There we go. Okay, so faceless history. Okay, which one of you once helped me to do something terrible? Who was that?
Yeah, you can volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay. Cool. So, oh god, the angel and the faceless doing something terrible together. That's got to be bad.
yeah. Let's explore that. Hang on. Where's my notebook?
So yeah, I get the idea when it says that you helped me to do something terrible. Like, I think I was probably the driving factor in this terrible thing getting done. I just needed your assistance doing it. Do you want to kind of define what it is now, or should we get it out later on the table? I like the idea of just leaving it kind of simmering, that we've got this really bad secret between us that nobody knows about. Maybe it can sort of come out and play.
Yeah, I think it's good. When someone has a really good idea, then you can
cool.
Snap it out on the table. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to ask any more HX questions, or do you want to take the default?
Yeah, I will actually.
Yep.
So that means I get +3 HX with you. Which one of you was once kind and unafraid towards me? Who was that? Who was once kind and unafraid?
I think I can volunteer for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Kind gunlugger. Okay, so I get +2.
To you only.
Yeah, to me only. And it was kindness not through fear as well. It was, given freely and consensually, which is quite strange. I don't normally experience that kind of thing. So yeah, and I guess that leaves haptic. So which one of you do I think is pretty? So that's got to be you, haptic. I'm afraid. You're the last one.
Well, I mean, you can refuse it if you want to, but yeah.
Well, do you want to refuse? Yeah. You okay if I find you pretty? I mean, you are wrapped in cool leather and spiky chains and stuff.
I'm super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly. Okay. So I get +1 HX with you.
Nice. All right. Who's next on that list? Mantis. So, yeah, Mike, if you'd like to flick to the HX section on your playbook history.
Okay. Okay. So.
Yeah. So you have to ask at least 1, or you can ask up to 3.
I'm gonna go for the second or the third. Which one of you has fought shoulder to shoulder with me?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool. We had two at the same time there. Go on. Go for it. That's fine. You take it.
Okay.
cool.
Yep. Do I put anything on my sheet? No.
No. It sort of goes.
Okay.
It's all kind of one-sided.
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to find here in the character sheet.
Oh yeah, let me open that.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So haptic.
Yeah, haptic will be at +2.
Cool. Okay, and the other one is which one of you is prettiest and or smartest? How smart is the angel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's say this is probably in your character's opinion, in Mantis's opinion, not necessarily actually.
I got it. Okay, I said the angel is the most.
But no, someone else still has to choose it though. That's the thing. But the angel can.
Yeah. I think Abe thinks of himself as smart, so he puts on that air.
Okay. Abe.
All right, cool. And then if you do not want to ask a third question, you should write down HX -1 for Queenie.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Abe, if you would like to do your questions.
All right. Which one of you do I figure is doomed for self-destruction?
I think that would definitely be Queenie. You know, she seems to have like no sense of self-preservation whatsoever. And hey, some people say she doesn't even feel pain. So
cool. So I put HX -2 for Queenie.
-2. Wow. Oh yeah, it is.
I don't quite know how HX works, but I'll just roll with it. I'm sure it'll make sense as I go.
So if you're trying to help someone or interfere with them, you roll plus or minus HX.
Okay.
That's usually what it's for. It also is used for highlighted stats, as we'll discover shortly. Do you want to ask any more questions?
Sure. Yeah. Which one of you put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life?
That doesn't sound like me, but I suppose if the circumstances were right, it may have occurred.
Cool. And the last one I got. Who's the last one? Mantis.
Well, ask the question anyway, because the answer can be nobody sometimes, if necessary. So.
Sure. So the question is, which one of you has been beside me all along and has seen everything I've seen?
Yeah, I can take that one.
Yeah, I like that idea of Abe and Mantis being the kind of the buddy road movie characters in this. Or whatever.
Cool.
And then that leads us to haptic. That's
Now, I think I'm looking at the old sheet because I don't see the questions.
Oh, you're right. That is weird. Hang on. Wait. Let me flick through the pages. Is it just that the Battle Babe is strange? Yeah. All the other pages are questions, and then this is.
Okay. Is it? Have you got this? The other characters' names go around again.
Yeah. And then on the ask. Oh, yeah. No, you've only got one question. Yeah. So go on. But you have to ask it.
On my turn, tell everyone.
Oh wait, which? No.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What's my question?
On your turn, ask the other players which of their characters you can trust.
Okay. Which of you can I trust?
You can trust Queenie, but you can't predict her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is everyone tries to figure out the correct answer here. Okay, Mike, can Haptic trust Mantis?
Yeah, a little bit the contrary side of Queenie. Like Mantis is it kind of predictable. So and yeah, it can be he can be trusted.
Okay, and Abe?
Yeah, I think Abe's pretty honest or whatever. Not honest, but like
Honest
yeah,
Abe.
yeah. You,
Okay, so Haptic,
I mean, like
please put -1 HX for everyone. Okay. Let me just. I'll just grab this version of the
Can I
rest
change
document.
my answer to that actually? Because that kind of doesn't work. Can I actually change that? Do you mind? And do a bit of a recon there.
Go on then.
Yeah, no, just basically. So the only thing you can trust about Queen is that she's untrustworthy. You know, that sort of thing. So,
Okay.
so no, you can't trust her.
Okay, so you get a +3 with Queenie.
Sorry, I was cutting out a bit there. So I can or can't trust Queenie?
No, you can't. The only thing you can trust about her is that she can't be trusted.
Oh, there's an echo of someone, by the way.
Yeah.
So what happens when I have can't or can trust? So can trust is -1.
Yep.
Cannot is +3.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see, HX. All right, so all right, last bit of setup. Well, last bit of character setup is highlighted stats. So, and that is based on the person that you have the highest HX with. So Queenie, who's your highest HX person?
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting a really heavy echo.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, I think Rich's mic it's how do you say it?
You're feeding
Oh,
back,
like,
yeah.
feeding back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, seems all right now. Actually, seems good.
Okay, so it's not ideal if Richie has to be muted the whole time, though. Can you try turning
Is it still there?
Let's see. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll drop out and try and come back.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing your phone this time. Yeah. Yes. All right, we'll see you in a tick. Okay. Yeah, Queenie. So yeah, who has the highest HX on your sheet? Is the question.
That is Abe, honest Abe, the angel.
Abe, please choose a stat for which is going to be highlighted, and what that means is every time that Queenie rolls that stat, they will get an experience point.
So I choose for Queenie.
That's right.
Is that
yeah,
right?
So it's basically it's basically what kind of things you want to see Queenie doing in this session.
Yeah, being hard. I think that's
Yay.
Okay, go ahead and highlight hard. Mantis, who do you have the highest HX with?
It's also Abe.
Okay, Abe, highlight a stat for Mantis, please.
Yeah, I mean, violence means I get to heal people, so you can take hard too.
And I think it's Abe next. Yeah, okay, who's your highest HX?
That would be Mantis.
Mantis.
Yeah, I mean, I think Abe is the smartest, so you put sharp. It's okay.
Okay, you highlight sharp. And finally, Haptic. Who is your highest HX with?
Queenie.
Queenie. Okay, please choose a stat for highlight.
For Haptic, I want to see hot. I want to see some hot chain and leather action, please.
Okay. Thanks.
So that's that is all set up. So I think you guys have seen. Oh no, you have not seen the map yet. So I will show you. Actually, I'll post this into the. Oh no, yeah, but I'll post it in the group chat. I can always reshare it with you guys in between sessions. So this is. I'm going to start labeling these. So UG map. This is the link to the map, just for you to kind of guys look at. We're starting at the top, we're going to be going down. And there's also a thing called the caravan sheet. And this is pretty important. I should give you guys editing access on that one. And basically, it's all about UVG. Yeah, it's all about kind of how much stuff you can carry, and the basic unit of time is a week. So every week you travel, or every week you spend just existing, each person in your group has to use 1 sack of supplies. And there are ways to get more by finding it, buying it, stealing it, hunting it, whatever. But that's what you have to think about. So if you look at the caravan sheet, you will see that the key things there are mouths to feed, how much cash you've got, speed, which at the moment is normal, and transport, helpers, and fighters. Fighters includes you guys by default. And so your financier I've put down as the people. So the background is that you're traveling on behalf of the people, who, let's assume in their native tongue, are just called that, as is traditional with many languages, who are being oppressed. And I think it's interesting maybe if we leave the exact nature of the oppression to be discovered during play a bit later. But the key thing is then, because you're searching, you're going to have to think about whether you want to kind of buy more, mules or horses or whatever to carry stuff, if you want to hire people to come with you, classic OSR things. And just to let you know where you are first, you're in the Violet City on the edge of the Circle C. And the next destinations are either 1 week away or 2 weeks away, depending on where you head. If you look at the map, each diamond between the destinations has a number in it, and that's a number of weeks it takes to travel between those places. Now, so I've got a couple of questions. I'd like to take a quick break now, because I think it's always good to, after character creation, to stop and think about stuff. So we'll have a quick tea break in a second. I have a couple of questions I'd like you guys to come up with. One is, what's your company name? It's the company of the something something. That's traditional for people traveling in the grasslands to kind of name themselves in their expedition. And the other one is that you are kind of not emissaries, but you're on a task for your people, right? And my question is, were there more of you when you set out before you got this far to the Violet City? And if there were, well, I'll ask follow-up questions then, but what happened on the way so that there were not so many people? And maybe think about also, why were you chosen for this expedition out of all the people who could have gone looking for the key to space? Why was it these 4 colorful characters? So yeah, if that's good with you guys, let's reconvene in like 5-10 minutes and get ready to do some role play. All right, see you soon. Okay. Right, hi guys. Oh no, still still Richard to come back. Anyone have any grand ideas while we're waiting for a company name?
Well, I like made this ridiculous like playlist thing on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some like amazing song titles like in there, you know, that'd work really well. Like something like kind of like so I'm just going through here. Like it's got like the Company of the Silver Machine, which is like the Hawkwind song. The Fury Whip, the Rainbow Demon, the Death March, the Vulture's Prey, the Solar Sphere, the Warp Riders. There's some great names in there. Very on trend.
Now the problem is choosing between all those cool names.
Solar Sphere is okay actually.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
I quite like that. Yeah, I quite like that because it's almost like a, you know, if we're looking to ascend like up into the sky, it'd be towards the solar sphere.
Exactly.
The sun,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I quite like that.
Not all right. Yeah. Okay. I'll go write that in on the caravan sheet. Solar Sphere. But yeah, on a more serious note, so what do you guys think? Were there so you've reached the Violet City, which we'll come to more in a moment, traveling on the right road along the shores of the Circle Sea from way back east, passing ancient ruins, weird cities. But was it always just the four of you, or were there more before?
I think there were more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
How many more? Is it like a Israelites' exodus from Egypt size, or just a kind of something less massive than that?
Yeah, no, I would imagine that. I would imagine that you know, there's like a selection process to be chosen to go on this sort of pilgrimage. I can't imagine it's like the entire sort of population would go. So I think it was like a smaller amount, and maybe we've lost a couple along the way.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, let's see. Actually, Carl, you're playing the angel, so you seem a good person to ask. What's one of the things that happened, at least, to leave people by the wayside, either dead or just giving up the journey, or something like that?
Yeah, I think probably ambushed, you know, in the middle of the night. And yeah, they were probably in really rough shape, but alive, at least a couple of them. But like the journey we're on is really important, so they convinced us to leave them behind, probably to their death. So I think that was probably a hard thing for Abe to do.
That's tough. And how did you get chosen to go on this? Actually, you could always do that individually, perhaps. So let's just ask one of you this time, and maybe we'll find out more from the others later. So yeah, Mantis, what was it? How did you get to go on this trip specifically?
Well, it's obviously a dangerous trip, so like Mantis' skills were important for the people. Do they send us? Somebody else send us?
Yeah, you're traveling on behalf of an oppressed people. So
yeah, I think like Mantis would have been hired because of his skills. Like I'm imagining he was like a trained assassin from childhood, but then like get out of that from whoever trained him and used him as a weapon, and now it's like his own master, but he became a mercenary, so they sought him because of his skills to kill, his ability to kill.
Okay. Interesting. So your loyalty is not necessarily it's bought rather than kind of bought.
And I mean the fact that Abe is in it. I mean maybe Abe was the contact. Like he was the one. Like, hey, this guy is good at killing people.
Okay, interesting, cool. So let me give you a little intro to the Violet City. So this place is actually, I added a little picture in the Character Keeper document if you want to check it out as well, or if you have the intro PDF that Luka made, it's in there. Yeah, this is the end of the right road. So from here, there are few, if any, roads, and the kind of human settlements start to fade out here at the same time as the purple haze that wreaths the sun every morning starts to become more obvious the further west that you travel. You know that you've not been here before, of course, but you know that beyond this point, things get less human. There are the porcelain princes, the spectrum satraps, these kind of para-human beings that no one really understands. And they're the ones, they have these kind of biomechanical creatures, and they bring strange fruits and plants and cloths that back in the civilized Rainbow Lands are very popular. And many travelers get killed by what's called vomes, violent mechanisms, robotic creatures left over from the long, long ago. And there are also ultras, which is some kind of beyond human creatures that are said to possess their victims or suck away their life energy or something like that. No one's entirely sure what's up with that. But at any rate, here you are in that kind of last outpost before the frontier. And on the last day, as you traveled from beyond the ruins of Azure along the right road and came into view of the Violet City, the sun rose through a violet haze. And yeah, it's been, I want to quote from the UVG book, it's been a long, hard, stupid journey, and everyone should get into the mood with a friendly plus hot check to see how unlucky they are. So if I could get each of you to roll 2d6 plus your hot stat, and if that happens to be highlighted, give yourself an XP, and let me know what you get. Let's go. Yeah, you can use roll for your party or just real dice is all cool.
Shit. I got a 7.
A 7. That is okay. You are not misfortunate. Basically, what I'll do with the misfortune rolls is a kind of custom move. Is 6 minus is a failure, so you're unfortunate in some way, which depends on where you are. 7 to 9 is a flat success, and on 10 plus, take +1 forward. Richie, did you say you just got a 5?
That would be correct, Tom.
Wow, I thought. Well, at least you got an XP out of it, I guess.
I rolled 3 and a 1, and I have +1 hot. So
yeah, it's okay.
Okay, I got a 3 on the die, -2. It's a 1.
Okay. Okay, and sorry, who was the last one I hadn't heard from yet?
Sorry, I scored a 7. Queenie scored a 7.
Okay, Queenie and Abe are okay. Haptic is not, but gets an XP out of it. And Mantis doesn't even get an XP, but it's just unfortunate. And I want to check what that means. Fortunately for you guys, this is this first one has no mechanical weight, but is merely interesting. So let's see. So for Haptic, your nice shoes were ruined in a deceptive bog, and and let's see. Oh no. Sorry, I keep forgetting names. Mantis. As you came into the city, just on the outskirts, the bustling first market bits, everyone trying to direct you to different inns and whatnot. Somebody pickpocketed something from you, something precious. What was it?
Well, I think, I mean, I only have like my weapons and 2 oddments worth barter. Oh, I know what it was. If that's okay with you, Mantis, when he worked as an assassin, he used to be called Black Mantis, and this armor he has is like part of the outfit he usually had with him. In those days, he had a helmet that is like a mantis head. But since he like escaped these persons that trained him and make him an assassin, he kept the helmet as a reminder, and but didn't wear it anymore really.
Mm-hmm.
And he usually like has it hang it in his belt behind him. I guess they will have take that.
Yeah, they just hooked it off your back. Yeah, okay, interesting.
Okay, so Haptic like throws her boots away in disgust and is now walking around barefoot, but she has an incredible pedicure, like sparkling, blinding.
Cool.
Which is going to be really messed up by the dust and whatever we're walking through the grass, but for now.
+1 hot. Yeah, it's okay. So.
No boots though.
No boots. Well, you may want to fix that. You can, with a sack of supplies should contain boots if you acquire that. So let me tell you what's
for just any boots.
Yeah. So around here, basically, the Violet City is a safe haven, and it is administered by a bunch of, I was going to say aristocrats. They're not really. They're more like they are a kind of oligarchy called the Cat Lords. And a lot of people say that the cats are actually the ones that are in charge, but of course that's ridiculous. But they do really like cats. Like that, you always see them with a cat when they're giving orders and stuff. They're kind of noble, sort of drapery robes and simmering chiffons and so on. And if you are traveling from this Violet City to westward, there's a 1 week's trail to a place called the Low Road and the High. And what this is the remains of a couple of highways that run more or less in parallel to each other. One up in the air on bridges and pilings, and the other that kind of winds its way kind of in and out of that raised highway.
Cool. So kind of like an old like viaduct type thing then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Also westward is the steppe of the Lime Nomads. That's a 2-week journey because there are no trails, so the journey is very slow. But this is where you'll find flocks of sheep and the Lime Nomads who travel hither and yon as nomadic pastoralists. And if you really wanted to, you could also head 2 weeks back east to the Rainbow Lands. But then, of course, you would never find the keys to the sky. So why would you do that? Now, while you are here in the Violet City, it's not that cheap. Like if you were living on the streets, you can spend like 5 cash a week if you really want to. But basically, it's going to cost you 50 cash each just to stay here for a week while you're doing other stuff if you don't move on immediately. I've got a little map of this place. There are a few places around here where, well, let's just say there are a few experiences you might want to have, and that's mechanically true. You can get XP for doing this, which include carousing, taking a bunch of drugs, doing some gastronomic experiences at some of the fine restaurants in the city. And you could also just be kind of hiring help if you want to do that, buying new boots if you want to do that, finding the person who stole your helmet if you want to do that. And generally, this is kind of a good place to stock up on supplies and horses and people if you need to. But otherwise, the world is your oyster. So, yeah, what do you do, as the classic question goes?
How much cash do we have?
Let me see. You have, as a battle babe, you personally have. It's whatever your barter says times 100. So you've got 400 cash on you, haptic.
Okay. And how do I go about procuring new boots?
Well, I think if you just buy a sack of supplies, which also includes food and stuff, then that will also have boots in it, I would think. But let me check the reference document just in case. There may also be outfits. I think there are. See. Yeah, Voyager supplies includes socks, so presumably. I would say if you look at the reference document, which I'll just reshare the link in the group chat. Okay, over there. Then any of those sort of equipment kits will also have some nice new boots in. But do you have a particular kind of boots in mind?
Yes, beautiful, extravagant boots.
Beautiful, extravagant boots.
Cat skin, maybe.
Well, that might be tricky in this town. But let me see. Yeah, I think you can do that pretty easily. Yeah, just take your pick of equipment packs, and you can buy some extravagant boots. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, like the Adventurer Kitchen, pretty good. 100 cash for that.
Okay.
Dungeoneer's kit.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, have a look. Take your pick. Okay, what about the rest of you guys? What are you thinking as you arrive here with your 4 mules and 1 horse?
Well, it's been a long, tough, stupid journey, as you said. So Queenie's in the mood to let off some steam. So Queenie wants to go. Queenie wants to take Haptic out on a bit of carousing, because I think even though she's covered in dust from the road and she's shoeless, I still think she's the prettiest thing that I've ever seen. So yeah, I want to take Haptic out for.
You'd be right about that. That's good. Yeah, Haptic's down for carousing for sure.
Oh, and in fact, if I need to sweeten the deal somewhat, then Queenie will quite happily buy you a present of like a new pair of boots.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we cover you guys hitting the town, what about Abe and Mantis? What are you guys going to get up to here?
Well, I think Mantis is like. He was trying to get rid of that helmet for quite a while, but he wasn't able to. So now somebody did the job for him, but he's kind of doesn't know what really to do. So he returned to the smartest person he knows and ask him what else he thinks. So he'll ask Abe.
I think Abe is not super looking forward to the wastes and stuff. So I think he wants to, go eat some good food and while he has the opening.
Okay, cool. So let's see. Maybe let's do the eating first, because that's something you would do, I guess, earlier in the evening. let's see. What time consuming? Okay, so basically there are a few different places that you can kind of become a regular. Basically, you have to spend a week just kind of eating around town, and then one of these places will kind of give you a special, unique eating experience. That's kind of how it works. So let me see. It's got a random table. I'm gonna roll on the random table. Okay. Okay, this one's good. It's gonna cost you 100 cash to go there, and a week, remember. So actually, let me just update this caravan sheet. One, I remember with the number of mouths to feed that you currently have, which is 4. Your animals don't count as mouths until you're in the desert and they don't have any grass to eat. So that is going to be 4 sacks of supplies gone in 1 week. And Abe spends 100 cash to go extravagantly eating. And where you wind up is a place called Null Sanctimons, which is a water and cat whiz bar where refined people meet, take cat coffee, and comment on and comment on the wonderful new clothes being worn by the great and good around the place. So, you could, if you were already injured, this would slightly reduce harm, but since you're fine, it doesn't. However, you do acquire both 1 XP and a fashionable but ineffective new habit. There you go.
Okay. So a question, it was 100 for the both of us?
Oh, sorry, it's 100 per person. So if you want to do the same thing, if you're going together, then the both would.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's for both of you. 1 XP and 100 cash. And let's hit the carousing table. This is the OSR part of the evening. Let's see. So you guys are each going to blow D6 times 100 cash in a week of hard partying. And if you roll more than you have, you may come into debt with a local CAD. So let me see. That's a 6.
So that's 600 cash worth of carousing.
Yes, 600 cash per person.
Each or total?
Actually, I should roll separately for each of you. So since Queenie spoke first, that's you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh,
Sorry, you
shit.
get 6 XP though. So that rolls you over to a new move, right? Or whatever. And for Haptic, 4. So 4 XP and 400
And
cash.
totally broke.
Totally broke. Yeah. Did that take anyone into minus numbers?
Yes. I only have 200 cash on me.
Okay.
So I live well above my means.
Yeah. Well, we'll come to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Haptic and I had a great time together.
Oh yeah, you did. Let me tell you more about your great time. Let me see. You do have to. We'll need a hot roll from each of you though.
Oh really?
So,
okay.
Yeah. This is your kind of mishap save. So Haptic will at least get yet another XP.
Queenie rolled a 7.
You're okay. No mishaps for you. Just the fact that you're massively in debt to someone over a huge bar tab.
Yeah.
I need to change dice. Oh, I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 6.
Ooh.
Okay, let me get my
But I
D12
changed
out.
dice mid-session, so I'm sticking with it.
Where's my D12 go? Bear with me for a moment. Here we are. 4. You make a note of this somewhere, Richie. So basically, Haptic, you were, among other things, you guys were smoking some black light lotus leaf. Only the stuff you got was kind of cheap or cut with something, and you are now phosphorescent in ultraviolet light. which
That's
means
awesome.
that anything that sees in ultraviolet range bands kind of can see you as if you're glowing in the dark.
But you look beautiful.
Yeah, but you look amazing. You're great at discos.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about Queenie's debt problem. I think maybe after that first week, let's have the scene. You know, some. I picture the Violet City as being a little bit like those Saharan cities that are now starting to be, you know, the dust flows in and starts to fill up the doorways and stuff. So you guys have been staying in maybe a kind of adobe building where the sand drifts up into the sill every morning, and that's sort of how you know it's time to get up. And Queenie is alone, you know, separated from the group. That's when you're approached by someone who looks familiar, and then you remember this is Harry, who spotted you some cash earlier in the week. She's a kind of a pale woman with orangey hair. She wears a long black coat, and she sort of waits till she's fairly sure you're looking in her direction, like she's just been waiting for you to turn around. And she comes up to you, decent distance apart, because you know you're terrifying looking. So, morning there, love.
Yeah, I'm kind of adjusting my mask, like getting it into place. So, like, yeah, good morning. Do I know you?
I'm Harry Tree. I'm a local dealer of services and necroambulist, as it happens. Procurer of fine work corpses. Now, as it happens, I'm not sure if you recall this, but I do have a note of an IOU. That is, you owe me 400 cash, Queenie.
Yeah, the last few days have been a little bit hazy.
Right. I mean, and she sort of waves a bit of paper, but doesn't really give you time to look at it. Fact of the matter is, I'll need that cash back forthwith. And, you know, you could either give it to me in cash, like, or you can work it off.
Or I say we could come to some kind of agreement.
What do you have in mind, love?
Well, how much do I owe you exactly?
400 cash.
And she sort of pats down. She's wearing this kind of dusty, kind of like sort of leather kind of pants, and she sort of pats down all the pockets in them. And there's just like there's lint and sand, and like she's literally got not a single like penny. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to work it off. I've got no cash. I mean, yeah, I need to earn some jingle now, because God, we're meant to be heading out from the Violet City into the Ultraviolet Grasslands, and we're gonna need supplies. We're gonna need like a caravan. We're gonna need weapons. And she starts listing off this shopping list that she's like, shit. And she remembers she was like meant to buy all this stuff before she went out drinking. She's like, oh shit. Yeah. So yeah, have you got a gig for me I could work?
Matter of fact, I do. A body like yours, I think, could be quite valuable, you know, for the lifting and carrying, all that. I'm sure your friends would be happy to get the money as well.
Yeah. So what is it? What's the job?
Just fetching and carrying. You'll have to go through a little process first, but you know, it's largely painless, and then you'll be ready to work for as long as it takes.
A small spot of manual labour.
A small spot. You won't even know what's happening, love. Come on then.
Sounds like a good offer. Yeah.
Get cracking right away. And she turns on the hill and starts to walk off towards. There's like what remains of a tower block in some way across the Violet City, and that is where her laboratory and so on is. And so she just leads you off in that direction. So meanwhile, what's everyone else doing? Does anyone else notice this little exchange, for example?
Would I have been there too?
You could. Well, I mean, you could well have. But you could. I think you're all in the same locale, probably staying together. So it's easy enough for you to see this conversation happen, even if you don't. You can go and join it.
Yeah, I think so. I think yeah, I think Abe thinks that Queenie is doomed. So he probably keeps a close eye on him. And yeah, probably sees that this is going to lead to no good. So I probably, round up the others. Let's say we might have a problem with Queenie. And so I suggest that we. Yes, I suggest we track them, we trail them, and see. At least that's what Abe is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I should imagine it's really easy to follow Queenie because they stand out like an absolute sore thumb in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Mantis? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Mantis also could hear Queenie's exchange with this person. I mean, they were talking like from a distance from each other, and they would be talking loud. So yeah, we may help and also get some cash from it because this city is quite expensive. And we need supplies, to for the road.
Okay. And sorry, I'm just
so he suggests that we
follow along.
We go along.
Okay. And are you guys gonna? Oh, sorry, I should check. Is Haptic joining the trailing party?
Sorry, is Haptic what?
Are you kind of joining them, following Queenie to check out what's happening?
Yeah.
Are you going to try and intercept them before they arrive at their destination, or are you just going to follow them all the way as far as you can?
Is Queenie? So Queenie's going along with this caravan, and we're trailing.
Queenie's following her like quite willingly, like almost like following her, and she's like maybe walking like for a market, and she's like picking fruit off. Like she's having quite a fun time, like getting a bit of sightseeing. And
can I just accompany Queenie?
You can if you sort of step alongside, then Harry she looks a bit confused and concerned and says, "What?" Well, she just wants to know what are you doing? What do you want?
Partying with my friend.
No. The Haptic, the party is finished. Now we have to work to pay off all of the money we spent on getting
Haptic
drunk.
just like laughs like, Queenie, the party never ends.
But we have to pay your debts. That's what my father always taught me.
Boring. Okay.
We won't. And I sort of like Queenie, like she punches you like on the shoulder. It's like, don't say that, Haptic. If we are not worthy people, we will not ascend. Do the right thing for once.
Before you know it, you're at the doorway to Harry Tree's laboratory. It's like a rusted old iron thing that she has to shove open. She says, "Right, go on, step inside, Queenie. Now you, Aptic, was it?
Haptic, yes.
Yeah, I don't think you need to come inside, not unless you're prepared to join the workforce.
What kind of work?
Just fetching and carrying, you know. And she sort of waits for Queenie to go inside and says, you know, I'm a necroambulist. Going to use your mate. They owe me a bunch of money, right? And I'll come and find you. You can have their payoff once they've worked it off. You can have any cash they generate after that, all right? And she just kind of starts to go inside and pushes the door to behind her. It doesn't really lock. It's mostly an interference fit. The security is the fact that it makes a grinding noise against the stone when you open it.
Yeah. Can I scope for any kind of holes or windows to have a look at what's going on inside?
Yeah, sure. You can. There's like kind of dusted over little panes of glass and stuff. You can eat a bit and see what you can see. Yeah, inside, and this is, you can kind of look in before they've done the walk around. Go walk through a couple of rooms to get there. You can see there's sort of, it's just a whole load of what looks like big chemical baths, like literal bathtubs that a person could fit inside, and all kinds of electrical, biomechanical gewgaws and knickknacks. There's bits of machinery that look like they look like they're going to cause huge amounts of electrical power to zap from one place to another. And then, like, at one end of this room, which mainly looks like an industrial kitchen or something, that's all tiled and flat work surfaces, there's like there's a stack of dead bodies, human bodies, and then a few kind of what look like bodies just sort of standing there in the classic resting zombie position.
Okay, Mantis catches up with Haptic and asks her what's going on.
Point to the window and go shh, and explain that Queenie's gone in and this place looks super dodgy.
Would you perhaps like to read a situation at this time? I was going to Mantis.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's do that. So that's going to be a roll plus sharp.
Sharp,
which
yes.
I think is that your highlighted stat as well? Yeah, so roll plus sharp. Let me know what you get.
I have to. My highlighted stat is hard, but
oh, okay. Don't worry then.
Yeah, I have 2 in sharp.
Yeah, I just misremembered. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. That's a 12.
A 12. Okay, you may ask. I'm going to put these questions in the chat just for convenience. 3 of those. Yeah. Oh, up to 3. I mean, if you don't want to ask 3.
Yeah. Where is our best way in?
There is a kind of access ladder on this building that used to be a fire escape or something, and it goes up to a little lower roof part, and you can go down as a classic ventilation duct thing that will pop you right into the laboratory, kind of at the far end near the dead body stack.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
So, and I can save the other questions for as we advance, or I have to ask them?
Yeah, you can save them as long as the situation is roughly around what we're looking at now. Yeah, you can hold on to those.
Yeah, well, I guess I can already ask, like, what should I be on the lookout for? As we try to sneak in.
There's no particular security measure to be on the lookout for, but what you should watch out for is that the machinery is already turned on, like it's ready to be used straight away. And that means that if Queenie, for whatever reason, gets talked into doing something slightly oblivious very quickly, something bad could happen very quickly. In other words, basically, don't let Queenie get into any machines or baths
Cool.
if you want to hang on to her or them in their current form.
Yeah. Okay. I point haptic to the ladder and say we can go there and try to save Queenie from these machines are bad news.
Yeah.
Is Abe with us?
Yeah, I think Abe was trailing along as well. So
Okay.
So Mantis, have you seen all these machines before? Like you know exactly what they do, yeah?
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think you may well know what they are. Yeah, they're for making the useful zombies.
Okay. Yeah.
Fuck.
So yeah, I think Queenie at this point, Penny has opened the door to the lab and the rest of you will see the door open and just kind of come on in. Yeah, what do you do?
Well, I'm here to do a job. You know, so is she going to get me to start lifting stuff? You know, I'm sort of like flexing up my muscles, like, you know, limbering up a bit, like I'm ready to do a bit of hard labor.
All right. So I'm going to the rest of you guys kind of scrambling up that ladder in the meantime.
Yeah, and I'm saying to Abe and Mantis that we need to be a little bit careful because Queenie has a debt here. So if they're not in danger, then maybe we should just let it play out for a bit.
Yeah, but Mantis knows for sure this is dangerous, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as if Queenie gets into a machine, that's dangerous. So okay, yeah, we scramble up the ladder.
Okay. Yeah, and you can kind of clamber into the classic kind of that scoop-shaped silver ventilation shaft thing, and it goes down, all that kind of stuff. We'll have a little montage of you guys kind of elbow and knees splayed, kind of sliding down. But Queenie, so Henny looks at you and she goes, "No, that's not going to fit. Not with them horns. Yeah, you're going to have to take your mask off, love."
I'm just going to stare at her for like a good like 20 seconds, just like right into her eyes, and then just like shake the mask back, like, no.
Well, I mean, look, you've got to get into the bath, love, and your head is too wide to go in the bath, so the mask is going to have to come off.
She wants to turn Queenie into a zombie.
Yes.
I'll be like, I'll lean into her, I'll tap her like on the right on her forehead like that, and I'll say, "This head will come off before this mask comes off. I don't care what I owe you, old woman, but you are not this mask is not being removed." I'm just gonna say, this debt is not worth paying off, and I'm just gonna turn around and start walking out.
You can't see it behind you. She puts her hands on her hips and it's like, right, so that is it.
I pull out my shotgun.
I think you guys can nicely be into the room. Do you want to be inside the lab already, or are you still waiting, like, ready to pounce?
I thought we were going in up the ladder.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, you can. Basically, it's like that sort of the moment where you can either, you kick the grill through and step into the room. You can either be waiting, still concealed, or you could just be in the room straight away, like already, depending on your preference.
I guess we go in, no?
Sure. I'm on the fence, but since you said we go in, let's go in.
Yeah.
So we saw this exchange of this lady asking we need to remove the mask. Do we?
I think you might have heard it as you came down, and then like, once you've got your heads into the once you've actually got into the
hearing that, I think we will go in. Like, we know Queenie's mask is like very important for her, for them.
So if I'm thinking this right, so Harry is now, she's going to see herself surrounded by a lunatic in a kind of dead deer mask and 3 more people, at least 2 of whom are holding guns behind. I think that
a big semi-automatic shotgun, and those are both in bolt.
Is she alone?
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently. So she just kind of looks at all this, goes, shit, and just runs. She just runs, like tries to push past Queenie. She runs for the door, and she's kind of panicking and going, "I'm going to call the law on you lot. I'm going to call the law." And she's running for her rusty iron door exit. What do you do?
She's not running. There's no way she's running past Queenie. Like Queenie's just gonna like stick an arm out and like grab her around the throat.
I believe that is seized by force, isn't it? Wait, do they still have that?
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely
That's still in here, isn't it?
Yep.
Where's it gone?
It's in the battle mobs, I think.
Yeah,
battle moves. Oh, they moved it to there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, exchange harm but roll plus up. No, I don't think that's right then, is it? Oh, she's not going to do you any harm, I don't think.
It should be maybe go aggro.
Yeah, I guess it's more like go aggro because it's going to be either you do harm to her or she just gets caught by you. That's the options, right?
Oh yeah, so I'm going to basically grab her and say, I think our debt is now paid off. I think we can forget about our debt, yeah? Or I will crush the wind out of your throat.
That seems solid. Okay, roll plus hard, please.
Cool. So that's 11 plus 3. I scored 14.
Yeah, she just goes, all right. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all just good times, isn't it? She's absolutely terrified. I think she might just pass out from fear. You've got a limp.
Just passes out. Cool. So I just carry it like that, and I'm just gonna like pick her up by the throat as she goes limp, and just toss her into one of those bathtubs that she tried to get me to go into, and just turn around and go. I turn around, like dust off my hands, like I think we're done here. Time to leave.
It does seem like time to leave.
I'm curious. I kind of like stick my nose over the bath to see what's happening.
Nothing yet, because but there's a big there's one of them red kind of levers that has the 2 prongs going into a big switch thing that's in the up at rest position.
I lean on it, pull it down to the on position.
Well, lots of things start to spin up and whir, and then like little crackles of lightning, and there's like a freaking Van de Graaff generator for no reason, and like coils zap lightning towards each other, and liquids start to bubble, and then the liquid in the bath starts to bubble, and it starts to change color from blue to purple to red to green, and she slowly submerges into the liquid. And then like a big a big bellows kind of thing starts pumping slowly. It seems like this is going to take a while. Are you going to stick around and watch? Or?
Definitely not.
No, I don't know.
Slow motion, kick the door open and walk out.
Smooth.
Is there is there anything valuable in this spot? I know we're all kind of low on coin, and she's probably not going to need it. So.
Oh, that's true, actually. Well, Mantis has a spare question left on his reader's sitch if you want to use that, or if someone wants to roll a new one.
Yeah, sure. I'll use like.
I think what should I be on the lookout for is okay. Yeah. What do you guys want? Like just general supply? What would be in here?
Well, one of the things in the equipment list is like zombies and skeletons that you can use for quarters and stuff.
That's true. You've got like at least I would say there's half a dozen of those lying around. The only limit on you could take 1 to 6 of them with you, but of course if you take more, there's more chance of people going, don't those zombies belong to that red-haired woman from the Violet City? But yeah,
fine. We're leaving. Yeah, we're leaving city soon, so I mean, yeah, we needed like some pack animals or something to carry all of our gear, didn't we? So we can have a little zombie caravan.
Yeah. Let me just go check the encumbrance stats for a zombie.
Good thinking.
Yeah, nice. Let me see. Train goods, transport, zombie porters. Very slow. That's the downside, but they do carry 2 sacks, and they're worth 200 cash each. So yeah.
1 to 6 is a convenient amount. How would we possibly determine that?
I don't know. You guys figure it out and then tell me how many you want to have.
I like the idea of having 1 each, like a zombie manservant each.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Let me update your caravan thing. If you guys want to have a quick chat about supplies you want to buy, now would be a good time while I'm filling in this paperwork.
Yeah, Queenie is broke, like, so she can't afford to buy anything. So
I'm also broke. We could take all 6 and sell 2, and then we'd have 200 cash.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I have 100
cash. If you
I have
sold
100.
I also have 100.
Yeah, where the hell do we? Where's the zombie black market? Like, where do we sell zombie slaves?
Well, there are rules for this. Hold on. Let me just update your. Well, yeah, okay. Let me find that move thing. Where is it? Okay, equipment. So we're looking at a base price of 200 cash and trading goods. Here we go. Selling and buying. Okay.
God, this started off with Queenie trying to be a good model citizen and paying her debt off.
Now that we've done,
and yeah, now I'm selling zombie slaves.
About, like the Protestant work ethic.
It's all backfiring. All right, so here's the deal. You can either try and do a quick sale, in which case someone's just going to roll plus sharp, and that's how you'll figure out the price you get for it. Or you can spend a week schmoozing, spending D6 times 100 cash. This may not be in your range, and then you'll get an advantage when you roll on a negotiation check. Without wanting to force your hand, I'm going to suggest the 1 day option might be the thing for you guys.
Yeah, I think we need to do it quick because this is stolen contraband.
Stolen property, exactly. So who's your lead salesperson?
I could bottom line the zombie sales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely wouldn't be Queenie.
Yeah, give me a roll plus sharp. Let me know what you get.
Okay.
You've got to let analytical knowledge to lean on.
Yeah. That's a 10.
A 10. Okay, you get price factor. Good trade. 1.5. So that's gone from 400 to 600 cash. Nice. Yes. And you're down. You've sold off 2 hot corpses. So.
Would I get an experience for that sharp since it's my
is it your highlighted stat? Yes, you absolutely do. Yeah.
Ooh.
Let me just update you guys. Cash reserves 600 cash. You're in the money now. Can you buy some food? And that's taking 1 day.
Yeah. Do we know like the times for the next outpost? Like.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Let's grab the map. So you can.
Yeah, we basically have that map.
Yeah, this is kind of what you know about in the future. So both of the trails you can usefully choose from here lead to the porcelain throne, which is where the porcelain princes live. But your choice of route can either go through the territory of the lime nomads or along the low road and the high road. And that is your decision, basically.
Yeah, so maybe we buy supplies for 2 weeks and we take the fastest, the low and high road.
Yeah, I think it's better that we take the shorter route. We don't want to be out in the wilderness for too long until we know what's out there. The
nomads sound cool.
They do. Well, actually, you'll notice there is a sort of connecting passage thing that, hang on, let me find the map. Between the low road and the high line, there's a diamond with a dot. And what that means is it takes a few days, which I think is like 3 or 4, if you decide to go to visit the Lime Nomads after you've kind of done that halfway point. So you could still visit them if you feel like you need to.
Okay. How much does a week's supply cost?
A week's supplies are. Let me find the equipment. So supplies, premium basic, it's 2 cash per sack, only 2, but they're not very good. So if you need to use them to recover from harm or starvation or whatever, that's has a disadvantage on the roll. Standard supplies are 10 cash per sack, and that's about it.
Okay, and a sack is a week.
A sack is 1 person's supplies for 1 week. Yeah.
Okay.
But your zombies and your mules and horses don't need supplies because the horses just eat the grass and zombies are zombies.
Yeah.
Right.
So we need to buy at least, if we go the short route, 8 sacks.
Mm-hmm. We currently have 3. So 5.
Oh, we already have 3.
Minimum.
Okay.
I will say that the zombies are going to slow you down. I think that's going to add.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Oh, basically, it'll sort of add a day to each week, if that makes sense. So eventually, it'll tick over, and you'll have an extra week that it'll take you. So, yeah. Let me find the actual rule about that. So buy a little bit extra is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think you might have answered this before, but how do our 2 oddments of barter translate into cash, or do they?
They do. It's 100 cash per barter.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, that's my suggestion. We take the short route, but if you want to go see the nomads, I'm open to it.
No, I'm happy to go the short way.
Okay.
How much supplies do you want to buy?
How much can we afford? 3 weeks worth sounds sensible.
Yeah, I mean that will guarantee that we'll get to the porcelain throne if we get 3 weeks worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 9 more that we would need.
Yeah.
So we could just do an even 100 just to make simple.
Sure.
So 10 standard supplies. Okay. Just add all that stuff.
So is that 100 each?
I know it's 100 total. So.
Oh, okay. So how are we keeping track of? Are we dividing up the 600 or?
I just stuck it in the cash section on the caravan sheet because it's
cool.
General shared thing. I think. Yeah, I'll knock that down to 500 for you guys, and I need to add.
I'd also like to buy a couple of other supplies.
Yeah, what do you want to get?
Curative snake oil, UV lotion, which is now ironic.
Yeah.
But maybe keeps my glow down. And lamp, solar lamp.
Okay,
nighttime.
So let's see. UV lotion, that's small. Lamp is presumably also small. Yeah, so these don't add up to a whole sack of encumbrance, so that's cool. That doesn't add anything to your kind of carrying, or doesn't reduce your carrying capacity, so that is fine.
Cool.
Yeah, nice. So I think you guys might be ready for your first journey. I'll just check I've written all your supplies down correctly. Yep. And you're actually I just want to double check the rules on like speed of things because I don't want to over penalize you or under penalize you, depending. And let me just check. Okay, right, yeah. So if anyone is slow, then the whole thing is slow, but it doesn't all add up. So basically, you're going to have 1 extra day per week of travel. So after 7 weeks of travel, you have to use an extra week of supplies. Other things can also slow you down, like being sick or carrying too much stuff, but we will worry about that a bit later. So I think you're all ready for the off. It might be a good time to call another quick break, actually, if you guys want to do that.
Yeah, cool. 5 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, another 5 minutes. Good. Just enough time for me to top up my tea, and
Yep.
I'll see you back 10 to.
Cool, see you in a bit.
Tom, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So for the angel for stock for healing stuff, it says I begin play with 6.
Yeah.
So is that the max? Is that like that's where you would be? Like, is that full or?
Oh, that's a good question. I think you could always get more. Like in theory, you could have loads and loads. But let's suppose that 6 is the max that you can carry, like just as you yourself. Like it's a backpack full of stuff, maybe. And then
Gotcha.
if you want to go above that, then we'd start to have to put it in sacks. There's a good question though, is what package from UVG would be the best thing to represent getting more of it. Well, you've got 6 stock already, so we can probably think about that in future. But yeah, something to think about.
Yeah, agreed. And then at the bottom of that, it says I have a supplier at the beginning of session, gain 1 to a maximum of 6. Is that a thing that I have, or is that like a move that would be just like the circle makes me think it's a move?
I think it is a move. Actually, let me double check. I think it's a thing where the default doesn't have it, and you can choose to have it. But I might have to. Where is that?
I see it on the like angel kit, like just above barter on my.
I think it's a thing that you have to buy as a move. Yeah, if I recall correctly.
That's what the formatting implies. Anyway,
you get all the basic moves. Choose 2 angel moves. That is what the formatting implies, but it's a bit confusing. Yeah. I think that is something you would have to get as an extra. But you're right. That is. I'm sure it's probably somewhere in the extended advice in the actual AW book.
Right. Yeah, I guess it may be something like that, because in the year it says Angel Kit, period, no supplier. No, not period. Like, yeah.
Oh. Comma. Yeah.
Yeah, you get Angel Kit, no supplier. Right. So at the time that you acquire one, then.
I think it may be like an upgrade from experience.
Yeah, it must be.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay. That's good. It means I don't have to be a mean GM and start going, well, I don't know if you'd really have a supplier in the grasslands and stuff. That little dilemma has been taken away. Right. Okay, we're all back. Nice. So I was looking at a PDF. I couldn't see everyone's faces. So I think you guys, absent any last-minute shopping, are ready to set off into the west with your mini zombie horde.
Yeah, just to clarify, the supplier thing is actually an improvement for the angel. You can choose it as an improvement.
Ah, okay. Thank you. Oh, it's on the
list? Yeah, it's in the.
Oh yeah. Last. Yeah. Good. Well spotted. Thank you. All right, so let's go and look at where have I left it? That little checklist. That is the when a week passes. All right, so you guys start to travel westward towards what is known as the low road and the high, which I'll describe briefly. But first, mechanics. So first, we remove 1 sack of supplies per human-sized person from the caravan inventory. There are 4 of you. You've got, I guess, do you want to use your cheap supplies first? I guess it makes sense, right? Still less good stuff. So let's lose 1, 2, 3. And you're going to have to use 1 set of standard supplies. So that's... And you've used 1 extra day because that's 1 week. So make a little box there. And the next thing on the checklist is 1 hero. The term hero is used loosely here, of course. 1 hero needs to roll plus hot for misfortune. So that's 1 roll for all of you. So it's when you travel, roll plus hot. If you're the mascot of the caravan.
If I do it, I get XP.
That seems like a wise thing to do then. By the way, didn't you get a basket load of XP? That mean you get an upgrade?
I did, and I took an extra move.
Oh, you did? Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so did I too as well.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't monitoring the character sheets carefully enough. That's
yeah,
right.
I took the as one move, which means that NPCs can never remove my mask, even if I'm like restrained and stuff.
Wow, that's way to overreact. What did you take, Richie?
I took. Where is it? Perfect instincts.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Read a situation I'm acting on the take +2 instead of +1.
Nice. All right. So yeah, if you want to roll plus hot and get another XP, let me know what you get.
I didn't fail for the first time, so that's an 8.
That's fine. Okay. Everything is just fine.
I imagine you know, like on ships, on old ships, you have like the kind of figurehead, like at the front, like it's normally like a carved like sort of woman or something like that. I imagine haptics a bit like that for us. Like maybe you're like kind of hanging off the front of like the wagon or something, like sort of like you're like our mascot on the expedition.
Sure.
Yeah,
bringing us the good luck. Yeah,
that is kind of what I was thinking about actually, because in Luka's UVG PDF, it's like you roll because it's for D&D. You make a charisma roll, and I was thinking, oh, should I change it to sharp or something? But then I thought, no, because in this kind of like pirates and sorcerers fiction and stuff, you always have people kind of taking attractive people as good luck charms. So yeah.
So that my chains are kind of blowing in the wind as we move through this area, and like the sun reflecting off my goggles and my glowing skin. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Did you get an encounter? I think you do. Mm-hmm. So coming the other way at one point, and I don't know whether you stop to kind of go near them or anything, you see a column of, as they get closer, you see their clockwork wagons from the Spectrum Satraps. I think that's what they're called. The Satraps certainly is the name. And these are like kind of huge, like they've got big kind of like old Wild West wagon wheels, but twice the height of a human, that roll, and then the actual bodies of the wagons are these sort of brass globes with little kind of inset dark blue windows that look a bit like insect eyes and stuff, and they roll along, kind of kicking up loads of dust into the air. And you can see on the top of each one is a satrap driver kind of sitting in the control pod at the very top, and there's maybe 5 or 6 of these wagons, and each one the satrap is like a spacesuit or a hazmat outfit, but just brightly colored, so like bright orange or kind of luminous green in a block colors on each one, just one color, and with a blank faceplate. I mean, do you think you'd hail them, or do you think you just kind of stay well out of the way, or something in between?
Yeah, I mean, if they don't look particularly hostile, it's just I think we'd hail them down. Because they're obviously coming from where we're heading to. So yeah, I want to find out some information, like about what lies ahead on the road.
I think the first one comes like the lead wagon as it approaches where you guys are near the road. Is you can just see this blank plate, it's clearly looking at you because of the angle of its head, but shows no sign of slowing down. And just as it looks like they're just going to go right past and ignore you, kind of does this with one gloved hand. Mm-hmm. But again, doesn't look like it's going to slow down or stop. What do you do? Well, who would be taking the lead here? Here's my question. It sounds like Queenie, actually. So.
Oh yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. Well, if they're not going to stop, then I'll make them stop. I'll like leap off of the wagon and like stand right in front of them with my hand out like that, and I'll make them stop.
Okay. Just as a point of order, I don't think you guys have a wagon. I think you just have mules.
Oh, we don't.
It's okay. You can leap off a mule, and it just kind of keeps rolling, and it's not gonna crush you because it's really high off the ground. It will just kind of, it would be at like your chest height, so it would just kind of knock you down and go over you. But you can see that there's like a bunch of, like, if you wanted to climb onto it, you could, but it's definitely not going to stop for you.
Okay, if it's at the last minute, if it's really not going to stop, I'm just going to like sort of drop to the ground and let the thing roll over me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it rolls over you, and then the next one rolls over you, and eventually, after you've been lying there for what seems like a tedious amount of time, the last one rumbles past, and you can see the sunlight again. And then the other three of you, and even the zombies, look like they're giving you a bit of a look. Like, I don't know what the other three of you have to say.
So I'm going to like turn around and face this satrap convoy going off into the distance and make like a swearing gesture at them, kick a bit of dust at them. How dare they do that? Brush the dust off my shoulder. Sorry about. Queenie apologizes for holding you up.
Do we know anything about, as characters? Do we know who they were?
Yeah, you've heard of them, like you recognize them. They are the satraps, and they live in some kind of far off city. They're rumored to have kind of ancient technology, which you've now seen for yourselves in the form of these strange sort of brass beetle-y wagons. But you don't really know much more about it. Some people say that there's a lot of different opinions about the satraps. Some people think that they're aliens. Some people think that they're actually just like not humans, but loads of vermin like rats or cockroaches, all just filling those suits out and kind of operating as a hive mind. And some people think there's nothing inside; it's just the suits.
Like three kids in a trench coat.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing that I was thinking of. Yeah, 3 kids in a spacesuit, basically.
Yeah.
Well, whatever they are, Queenie doesn't think they're very friendly. They wouldn't.
No, they're not. Still, you do after that unfulfilling encounter reach your destination, which is the cratered viaduct that is the high road, which goes on crumbling pylons made out of what's called dryland coral. That's used for quite a lot of constructions in this part of the world. And then beneath this testament to the follies of the ancient ones, the low road winds through kind of soil and loam and rock and oil. It's more like a foot-worn track that's been made over the centuries. The weather here is the purple haze lasts longer. It takes till about 9:30 before the sun can finally be seen beyond the purple. And today, as you're traveling along and kind of come to this point where the kind of grasslands road, such as it is, begins to have junctions. The wind is carrying flurries of ash that kind of give you they don't really do you any harm, but they kind of it's sort of irritating, like sort of having sand blown in your face. Except for Queenie, who presumably is just irritated by the noise that it makes on her mask.
Yeah, Mantis also has like a long kind of scarf, like he wraps it around his head, like only the eyes.
Cool.
This ash, is it blowing in the direction from anywhere? Like, is it basically something on fire nearby? Can we see a pillar of smoke or anything?
No, it seems to be just kind of like something that's picked up from maybe some kind of desert area to the west, and that's kind of blowing in your faces from there. There's no sign of any fires that you can see. But that does remind me, you have arrived at a destination. I mean, this is barely a destination because it's more like a on-the-way point. But let's see, have 1 hero roll plus sharp for discoveries. Would anyone like to do that?
I would.
Well, Abe, sure.
All right. Oh, that's not good, guys. That's a 5 is what that is.
Okay, so that's bad, but you still, it's one of those, you get one, but something bad's going to happen. Okay.
I was going to say I tried to help, but that wouldn't even get you up to a 7, really, would it?
No, but he got a 4. You have 2 sharp, no?
Well, I rolled a 4. Yeah, sorry, I'm at 6. I miscounted.
Still not too good.
But if somebody can help to make it a 7 or not?
Yeah, Queenie would like to help. I'd like to help by like taking my cloak and using it to, I imagine that Queenie like towers over Abe, like he, way much taller. I'm gonna use the cloak to like keep this ash from like blowing in your face as you're surveying the horizon, and protect you from the ash.
No, roll plus HX then. Yeah.
So that's +3. Cool. So, oh no, I scored snake eyes. That's +3, so that's a 5. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so...
actually, the cloak like blocked his side.
Yeah, it just gets all wrapped up around like Abe's face. And like, oh God, Queenie, you idiot.
Well, it's okay because, I mean, it's not great, but there's one place you can't really miss in this area, and that is called the Rusted Hand. And I'm going to paste a little picture of that in the thing. There's a tab for NPCs and places on the character keeper if you haven't seen it yet. Let me just insert an image. There's probably a quicker way to do this, but I don't know what it is. Seriously. Just taking all my little thumbnails away. Yep. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. So yeah, if you look at that picture, you can see a little bit of the high road and the low road there with some people traveling along it. And right there, the Rusted Hand. So this is from where you are. It'll take a day's travel to go there and back. And it's, but you do get an XP each if you do it and if you explore it. And this is a victorious hand. We assume it's V for victory and not the other one. It's covered in graffiti. Well, not that you know that from this distance. Well, you probably could see the colors that are all over it, and it's some kind of statue. And yeah, you probably have heard about this back in the Violet City because some of the aesthetes that hang out at the Cat Pea Cafe recommend it as a place to go and visit on your way. So that is a thing you can go and do. I will note that costs 1 day's travel. And remember, of course, the more places you go to, more chances you have of finding something interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine seeing as both Abe and Mantis were hanging out in this cat cafe for quite a long time, weren't they? Then there's no way that you guys are going to be able to pass this up. So, yeah.
I don't know. Those guys, they know good things. So, whatever they recommend, I'm on board with.
Yeah. See, I imagine like almost like the whole journey, like out here, you've been telling us about like what all these people in the cat cafe were saying about this amazing like rusted hand thing, and then we spy it off in the distance, and I'm like, oh, is that it? I was expecting, more hand and less rust.
It's quite huge by the looks of things.
It's pretty huge. So what do you guys reckon? You're going to take a trip now?
I say we go. What does anybody else? everybody else
Oh,
thinks.
I get it. Oh, it's just very far away then. It's not small. Oh, I get
No.
I'm on board
All right, let's do it then. So I will add a
for a
day
hand job.
count. I'm gonna ignore that, Richie. Let me see. But yeah, you head out there. It's a half a day's travel to get there, and you arrive just as the sun is beginning to set. It's close enough to the road, and you can see that there's kind of the leavings of day trips, or well, week trips, I suppose, from the Violet City. Like, people have clearly come here for picnics and to do sort of maybe do a little bit of sketching. It's popular with gothic and melancholy aristocrats.
I'd love it. I'd love it if like people would come here to like smoke that lotus weed thing. It's like a get high sort of spot.
There are a few dog ends lying around as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, funnily enough, there is around here. There is. What's my terminology? Let me just double check this before I start saying. Just sort of looking around at the etchings in the hand and trying to work out, what did this mean? Was it a symbol of, totalitarian rule, some kind of cry for help? Who can really say? But one of you, actually, let me decide who at random in the manner of my people. The D4. Abe. You're there, kind of poking around this big hand, and you realize that you are looking at a key to the sky. One of the three that you need. What is it?
What's the key to the sky? Maybe like hidden somewhere around it. There's like a little stone thing that he uncovers. And yeah, inside is a small little tool. Looks kind of compass shaped, but doesn't seem to work. But like definitely looks significant, and like the way that it was hidden, like it seems.
Cool. Yeah, maybe it's got the, let's say it has the writing of your people on it, and that's how you know it must be, like, no one else would have these symbols, perhaps. Cool. So it's getting dark as you make this discovery. Do you kind of start like telling everyone else about it straight away? What's your reaction? How would Abe react actually on this discovery? How does he feel about this quest you're on?
Yeah, I think he's on board. I don't think he would have gone on this crazy journey unless he was like a believer in the prophecy or whatever being true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think he's not normally an excitable fella, but I think it actually erupts from him when he finds this, and he shows it off to everyone quite proudly.
Well, how do the rest of you? What do you think about this when it happens?
I think Queenie would drop down to their knees and like offer up like a prayer to the sky, like, because this is the ancestors like shining down upon them and like guiding the way. Yeah.
I think Mantis like doesn't seem to react, but I think Mantis is kind of like skeptical still about this 3 keys thing and ascending and all that. So, but secretly he's starting to like his things in this trip like has starting to change his mind a little bit, but he hides it still. Like he still plays to be skeptical about it. But he's starting to believe a little bit.
Interesting. And how about haptic?
Is there any kind of massive spectacle going on? Or is it just like writing or something that we're interpreting?
How do you mean? As in what's on the device? Or?
Yeah, like what's... Or maybe I missed what we're witnessing.
Oh, it's Abe has discovered a kind of compass-like tool that doesn't seem to actually do anything yet, but it's clearly from your people's ancient times, and therefore one of these keys that you need.
Yeah, like haptic stuff. It's a rusty piece of crap. Like,
It's a miracle.
there's nothing glamorous about this.
The rusty hand has shown us a true miracle of the ancestors. We should all be reverent of this moment. And like Queenie's gonna like try and get everyone to get down on their knees and like sort of pray with them.
Are
You
you
want me to
doing
get
it?
down on that? It's filthy.
Well,
It's a good job you're so pretty, Haptic, or I'd slap you right across that face of yours.
You just try, Queenie. You just try.
Heathen.
hello? Oh, sorry, you all froze for a moment there, or I think more likely I froze for everyone else. Now, there is, after this the discovery, I think there's... Oh, crap.
We can hear you, Tom, or I can. Possibly not.
No, Tom's frozen up for me.
Yes, he is. It might have. I feel a bit guilty now. It might have been my disbelief that caused that.
Yeah. You've invoked the wrath of the ancestors.
The rusty hand is not him.
Okay. He's gone. He'll be back in a minute. Hey!
Oh,
Wow.
sorry about that.
That's okay. I can now see two of you, Tom.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I've managed to log in twice, but I think
That's
it's
strange. Yeah.
as long as one of me is talking. Oh my god, I thought it completely gone. It's it's really bad timing. Okay, where have you got to? You found the compass. Some people were more impressed than others. Now, however, that sharp result is going to have to haunt you. And just as there's
Oh no.
Oh well.
It's a rusty hand again.
Yeah. Yep. You're back.
I'm
Okay.
back. Ugh.
Yeah, you went there for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's really annoying now. I'm wondering if I
The
should
curse of the rusty hand.
Yeah, it's definitely the rusty hand.
Well, clearly, it doesn't exist.
So there is a little, quiet moment, and then you hear from like the undergrowth around you, little kind of noises, and then clicking, like mechanical clicking, and then little kind of monkey hoots. What do you do?
I'm going to snap out of my reverential prayer and pull out my huge fuck off bone scythe.
Yeah.
And get ready for, because we've heard about these. Are they vomes, the violent mechanical things or something?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that sound.
Well, as soon as I see Queenie prepare for battle, I do the same.
Okay.
Yeah, Mantis also takes out his assault rifle.
Okay.
So can I read? Can I? Yeah. Can I read the situation here of like who's attacking us?
Yeah, you sure can. Go ahead and roll plus sharp.
Yeah. What is? I don't know what my sharp is.
Your sharp is.
Oh yeah, there we go. 0. Great. So I rolled an 11.
All right, go ahead and ask 3. I think. Oh yeah, I've lost that list because I had to log in again. But
that's all right. I'll find them.
Yeah, the list is still on the chat.
Which enemy most vulnerable? Which enemy is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? Who's in control?
Yeah. What should we be on the lookout for? Yeah.
You should be on the lookout for these kind of, what is it called? Yeah, you should be on the lookout for monkey mechs.
Monkey mechs. Oh my god.
They're snapping teeth. And also the fact that they are quite fast and agile and can climb and leap. That's probably the thing to watch out for.
Oh, okay. And what's the enemy's true position? Because I can hear them. I can hear their sort of noises, but can't actually see them in the undergrowth. What?
Oh, that's right. There's actually they are using. There's like a little drainage ditch that surrounds the sculpture. It used to just like be a runoff. They're actually running along below the level of the ground in that area, kind of fanning out to surround you.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna tell everyone this and suggest that we turn the ambush around on them, and if we wait for them to emerge from the end of this drainage pipe and then hit them from both sides at the same time.
Yeah, I think there's actually is there an ambush move for this? There might be, you know.
I'm happy to go along with the plan.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got there's a great move here actually, called beta trap.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that. If like Queenie sort of stands there like at the end of the drainage pipe and gets everyone else to like stand on top of it, and as all the monkey mechs like come rushing out to swarm her, everyone else can like jump down from behind and get them.
That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, is that the one that's when you're the bait? Is that the one?
Yeah, when you're the bait, roll cool.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and you do that.
Can I stand overwatch for him? For them?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Cool. So so Queenie's gonna stand there like with her like bone scythe in like one hand, just like tapping it, like waiting for these things to come out.
Okay, so I think because you're standing overwatch, first we need Mantis to roll plus cool, please, because you're gonna do that and hold.
Yeah, I have battle hardened, so when I stand overwatch, just roll hard instead of cool.
Okay, go ahead and do that then.
Okay. All right, that's 8.
8. Okay, that means, what does that mean? You stand overwatch. If anyone attacks, Okay, so yeah, if someone attacks Queenie, then you'll be able to inflict harm as established, which is whatever gun you are using, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so Queenie, now if you can do your plus cool to be the bait.
Yeah, sure. I rolled an 8. So that means on a 7 to 8, I choose one off the list. So I'm going to choose. I draw my prey all the way into the trap.
Otherwise, the only approach. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that works.
So they're going to be wary and alert, and they might. And I've exposed myself to extra risk as well.
Yeah. So basically, let's see.
So
Yeah.
also just to be clear on marketing experience.
Yeah. Cool. So let's see. Yeah, you start to see these little green glowing eyes approaching, kind of ooking and clattering out of the drainage channel as it comes up, because it's sort of a horseshoe shape, and you're standing at one point where it kind of comes out like that. Mantis, I keep forgetting character names, is there, kind of ready to shoot at them. I guess the question is, what do I do about if I'm looking at this? If you're the bait, I think the prey is going to inflict harm on you, right? Because they come streaming out of that channel. They're just gonna jump right onto Queenie, kind of and other kind of mechanical monkey noises. And there's kind of jump on the Queen like into her shoulders. Like there's at least like two or three of them scrambling all over her, chomping and biting into the armor, which is going to be like, one of them by itself will be 3 harm. So a bunch I'm going to say is 4. Well, actually, you're already taking +1 harm because of your roll result. So let's say 4 harm total. And then, but now, because you're standing Overwatch, Mantis, you get to what's the damage on on the gun you're using, or whatever you're doing?
Yeah, I'm using the assault rifle. Just got a question. Is this monkeys count like as a small gang?
Because, yeah, I think they're a small gang or a small troop, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So because in battle I count as a small gang.
Yeah.
But since we are both, it stays the same. The harm I flipped.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so it's 3, just 3, right?
Yeah.
So 3 harm. Okay, that is, check what that means in the gang. I think that's a lot of damage. You're going to kill one of these monkey mechs straight off, like just blast it into pieces.
Yeah.
And the other's going to sort of get scattered and start activating their, what do we do now, protocols. In the meantime, Queenie, you're going to need to roll 2d6 +4 and tell me what you get.
I've got 2 armor, so I will only
take
take 2. I only take 2 harm.
Yeah, we will do the suffer harm move, I think.
That's an 8.
An 8. Oh yeah, I think you lose your footing. Definitely, you've got these monkey robots kind of climbing all over you. You just kind of topple backwards and fall down where you are now. Abe, what are you doing while this is happening?
So I think that I'm most effective helping people. So maybe I'm hanging back with. Sorry, I forget your name. With Haptic.
I'm hanging back.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm not hanging back, but
sure. I meant more so like taking cover behind and maybe trying to point out any weaknesses or something if I.
Well, you could do a help or hinder roll with +HX if you want to do that. That's good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gunning for.
Yeah, okay. If you want to roll that, and then Haptic, what are you doing with these monkey menaces?
I'm shooting at a monkey with a shotgun.
That's nice. Okay, I think that's another seasonal force. It's probably a go aggro. I go away and or die. So
and I have to be close.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's easy enough. The monkeys are kind of charging you and then ravening a horde, so they're mostly charging Queenie right now, but yeah.
So okay. I got a 10, so you'll get a +2.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks. When I go
What's Abe doing? Just going, quick, shoot that monkey.
yeah, but I roll plus cool instead of plus hard.
Oh yeah, because you got that thing.
So I'm like, I just sort of glance at the monkey, like down my shotgun. I glance back at Abe and just kind of go like, blow a little lock of hair out of my face, like, just don't care. And roll. And I rolled an 8 plus 3 plus 2. That would be 13.
And you're doing like 3 harm, right? With the shotgun?
I think I do 4 harm, actually.
4 harm. Okay, that's just immediately fatal, I think is the phrase. Just
yeah, it's a big semi-automatic shotgun. I think the bigness causes an extra harm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you a word for it. Yeah, so that's one ruined monkey mech, and you can see it's like a little exoskeleton kind of pings into like ruptures and splits all over the place, and like weird little sparks come out of it, and do that thing where they kind of scatter across the floor. And meanwhile, I think Queenie was, under some monkeys.
Yeah, I've got a swarm of monkey mechs.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to do? There's like there's only 2 of them left now. To be honest, Mantis has kind of obliterated a decent number of these things, but the fact of having 2 monkeys, I mean, it's 2 more monkeys than you would want on eating your face. So
yeah, can I lay down fire on them so aid Queenie battle move?
Yeah, sure. Is that a special, like a different? Oh yeah, lay down fire. No, for this one, no, because that's for keeping someone away from someone else, kind of. Whereas like Queen is right now in battle. Although, I mean, you could do it to keep any other monkeys from attacking. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the options is also provide supporting fire. I can give Queenie +1 to whatever battle move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like if you could do that, if you could supply some cover fire to like basically get a small bit of distance between me and the monkeys, and I can scythe them down.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to it because I'm like down, I'm flat on my back, like with these monkeys on top of me, trying to push them off me. Yeah, and if I can just sort of push them off, and because the
other option I have is allow a character to move or act freely.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, that would work. Great.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so go ahead and roll hard for that then.
Cool.
And we'll see what we get.
That's 8 again. So on 8, I'm gonna choose 2. So yeah, that would be those 2 things. I provide covering fire, so allow Queenie to move or act freely, and I would like to support them with +1.
Oh, +1 choice. Okay, that's good actually.
Yeah.
So battle move. I think this might be a seize by force, as in like to fight your way free. I think, or
no, I don't know. I don't care about getting free. I just want to smash these little monkey fuckers into pieces. Okay. This is pure exchanging harm. This is.
Oh right, I'm with you. Yeah. All right.
Because I managed to get them off me, like throw them off, and they get distracted by the covering fire coming in, and all I need is like a couple of feet like distance, and I sort of pull my massive scythe out and sort of attack them both in like one swipe of the scythe.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. Oh yeah. Actually, let's do because it like the +1 choice thing doesn't quite work very well with exchange harm, but I guess what we can do is say that you apply it to every monkey in range.
Yeah, that's right.
That's your best choice.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. The scythe allows you to do that. It actually has area when it's close.
Oh, it has it anyway. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's cool. So yeah, I just want to exchange pure harm.
Okay, go for it. What's the harm on a scythe?
I think it's 3.
I think a 3 is something like the rule book says it's kills them dead half the time, and the other half they're going to be dragging their broken bodies away.
Oh yeah, so. Yeah. It's 3 harm and messy.
Okay, tell me about the messiness.
Oh, the messiness! It literally like I swing this thing and it literally cleaves the blade on it is like porcelain sharp, and it just cleaves them literally in two. And whatever's inside them, I don't know. Whatever's inside them just like sort of erupts like out. Whether it's, I don't know. You tell me what is inside the monkeys.
I'm guessing a mixture of printed circuit boards and little kind of goo sacks. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes everywhere. So there's like electrodes and grey goo just like splattered like all over Queenie's face, like mask.
Nice. I think that's a great place to end the session. Grey goo splattered all over a skull. Because we're kind of on time. I will say, oh, hang on, let me roll a dice for you. Because, okay, if you're willing to prize them out of their eye sockets, the optical bits in these robots is worth 300 cash.
Oh, we'll take that. Yeah.
So I'll just write 300 cash worth of robot eyes on my notes.
That's about the only part of those monkeys that's still salvageable, is their eyes, because the rest of them smashed them up.
So cool. We will leave it there. I have to actually dash right now. Normally, I would ask you guys what you would like to see more of next session, less of next session, maybe. But thank you so much for playing. I thought it was a pretty good start. We'll have probably more journeying and less messing around in towns next time, but who knows? Maybe it'll be all messing around in towns.
Cool.
But if you do have any thoughts, of course, we've got the chat group in between sessions, so just like drop us a line there. And thanks, guys. It's been really good.
Cool. Thank you. Cheers, Tom. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye-bye.
It's awesome. See you, everyone.